Welcome to another episode of Unlocking the Mind Behind Make More Work Less. Hi, my name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock the potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Unlocking the Mind, we talk about another cognitive bias. And the reason why we're doing this is because we need to understand better how our minds make decisions, how we can better prepare ourselves when we go into building a relationship or going into negotiation or dealing with business partners, and probably a good way to prevent ourselves from falling into some cognitive traps so that we could better protect ourselves again. So for today's cognitive bias, I'm going to ask you a question. Have you bought a product and you just think back about a product that you bought that there was originally 2 or 3 choices that you had to pick from? Now, do you remember all the great stuff as to why you bought that product? And then try and think back as to what was all the great stuff about all the other choices that you could have picked from. Probably a little bit difficult, but if I asked you, what are all the bad stuff? What were all the negative reasons that you didn't choose those other choices? I'm sure you could come up with a lot of reasons of that. For instance, and a lot of people who had a decision about buying a certain phone, either the iPhone or the Android or a Samsung, whatever it was, at that time, they probably picked one. And then every time you ask them, why did you pick this one? They'll give you all the reasons, all the positive, all the great features and items they can think of about the reasons why they need to buy that one versus all the other negative reasons that they didn't choose the other one. And that's all they tell you. And that is choice supportive bias. And that is where it's a tendency to remember one's choices as better than they actually are. We tend to like to remember and make and kind of justify our decisions. We want to make the right decisions, but the thing is, in reality, there never is a actual right decision. We just justify the decisions that we make, making it sound like it is the right decision for us, and therefore we remember all the reasons why we chose that item or chose that decision. We come up with all the right reasons or right feelings and all the right features and all the right positive aspects as to why we picked that. And we remember all the negative aspects as to why we didn't choose all the other stuff. And that's just because we want to protect ourselves from ourselves. We want to feel good about the decisions we've made. We don't want to make a decision and then all of a sudden think back, wow, all those other choices were great. All those other choices have so many more positivity, so much more aspects that I really like, and you start regretting the decision that you picked, and you start not liking what you actually decided. This is also known as the post-purchase rationalization. So the thing is, we want to protect our minds, we want to protect ourselves so that we want to be able to feel that we've made the right decision. We want to be happy with our decision. But the thing is, we're basically kind of a little bit blinded by our choices. Some other examples of this is when you walk and you see somebody who has a dog and that person goes, don't you think this is the best dog in the world? Or you go and talk to somebody who just had a new child and go, don't you think this is just the cutest baby in the whole world? Well, first of all, it is somewhat of a choice supportive bias because, well, that baby is theirs and that dog is there. And of course, they're going to be very, very supportive and justifying that they are the cutest baby in the world or that is the greatest dog in the world. But the truth is, there's no way you can prove that. And it's very subjective and it's very, very emotionally based. And it's because, again, they're blinded a little bit because it's theirs and it's their choices and they chose to have that dog and they had that child and they believe that's the cutest child. Just like buying investments, sometimes you kind of justify yourself saying that that investment is the best investment in the world or that property is the best property that you've ever bought, because you don't want to go back and feel that, I made the wrong choice on that house, or, oh, I made the wrong choice on investment. And you constantly re-justify the reasons why you chose all that stuff. And that is, again, the choice supportive bias. And we always focus on the positives as to why, and we exaggerate the negatives as to why we didn't choose something else. So the thing is, how do we prevent ourselves from falling into this trap? Well, the thing is, we need to be able to really sometimes step back and reflect and look at all the facts, really try and compare other products, other choices, other suggestions, asking yourself the questions, am I actually not biased? Am I actually in the situation where I'm considering all the facts before I make that choice? And sometimes put yourself in a situation where you're going to go and ask other people for their advice. Ask your coach, ask your mentor, ask people who's used those products before or got into those investments before or bought properties before or done business before, whatever it is. Ask those people for their feedback and get as much information as you can so that you can compare all the pros and cons, negative and positive aspects before you make those choices. And then the thing is, if you've already made a choice, you might want to go back and reflect on those choices. And again, ask the people around you saying, was that choice the best choice? And get some feedback. And the reason why you want to do that is you always want to grow, you always want to do better, you always want to improve. So by asking other people, getting other people's feedback, and then also comparing other people's thoughts and other people's advice, and also some of the facts and all the items and whatnot that you can compare to, even though you've already made that choice, allows you to kind of reconnect with your choices, reconnect with your thought process, and then go, okay, next time I might have to consider all these other things before I make that decision. Now, the thing is, sometimes with the choice supported bias, we over justify, we overdo it so much that we get ourselves stuck into situations we don't want to be. So for instance, let's say you missed a workout and you justify that you didn't do that workout because, oh, you were sore, or you decided to indulge yourself with some great snacks and some junk food and some sweets, and you keep on doing that and you go, oh, I did that yesterday, I'm pretty sure I could do that again today, and I'm pretty sure I could do that again tomorrow, and keep on justifying those decisions and those actions. Eventually you fall in this trap where you can't break out of it. You'll constantly not be working out. You constantly not be eating healthy. You might be getting a little bit more lazy, and then you won't grow. You get stuck in a spot. So therefore, you have to be kind of cognizant as to when you're using choice supported bias. Are you supporting and justifying choices that may not actually be good choices because you want to make yourself feel better? So when it comes to that kind of stuff, again, reflect, build some relationships with other people to support your decisions or give you their thoughts about the decisions that you're making. Maybe have somebody come up to you and go, hey, we really do need to work out every day or eat healthy every day or mind feed every day and build your business acumen every day and just don't get lazy and all that kind of stuff. Stop justifying yourself. Maybe that is the motivation that you need to kind of break that cycle and do something else and stop justifying that the choices that you made, which may or may not be advantageous to you, will be the time that you can break out of that. So that is choice supported bias. This is a show that I absolutely love doing because I get to explore on all these different cognitive biases. And if you like this episode, there's a lot of other episodes on different cognitive biases. And if you like this show, I have the Peak Potential Success Show and also the Make More Mind Bites and also the Mastermind Bites as well, where I talk about other successful people. So please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. So until next time, today is the day to unlock your potential. We'll see you later.